Hey y'all, it's Matt with Bobcat Bonsai here. Today we're going to do a little work on one of the Juniper Nanas. The plan with it is we just want to get it up higher in the pot so that we can start it to get in its cascade flow, and basically that's what we are going to be doing today, just getting it lifted up in the pot and starting to get more movement throughout the tree. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so as we see here, this is just a little guy. So first, I just want to loosen up the soil a little bit, just so I can get it to come out. Then I'm going to do my best not to break this at all. Set it down. I'm going to grab a little bit of small lava rock. Get that dropped in at the bottom. And then just add a little bit of free draining soil on top of that. Sorry if I got all in your way on that one. And we're just going to get this little guy and set it right back on there. And just really push it in there. Okay, so I'm going to clean up the top just a little bit just to see. It doesn't really look like I'm going to run into too much root wise up here. It is throwing two little roots right here that it's trying to get to drop down. So we're just going to open it up. So it looks like we have one decent root right in here. So my thought is, all in all, that I want to get rid of this branch over here. It's causing some really bad inverse taper right in here. So what I want to do is I want to get rid of that one, and then basically just twist this one and then bring it down and begin to split out these individual pads. And hope we can get some kind of good, another branch or something to just pop it from right in there eventually. That would be the overall hope for it. Alright, so let me get this cleaned up a little bit and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so as I was doing some cleanup, I noticed that I exposed a lot of roots in there, so I decided to drop it back down in the pot a little bit further. And I'm still going to pull that Cascade look, but I ran out and grabbed some moss real quick. I'm going to end up covering up just those little roots with the moss to keep them damp so that they don't die off, since it is a little bit colder and everything. So let me get you back in a good angle here, and we will begin to get into work on this. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting angle here for both of us. Hopefully I remember I don't spin the turntable while you guys are on it. Alright, so first thing I want to take care of here, I'm going to trim off these two little guys. And then I'm going to come in and snip this little guy. I'm actually going to give it some room just in case it dies back. And I'll probably end up using this little guy for cutting then, so we'll set that off to the side in some water. We'll set it off to the side in some water. There we go. Okay, so we left that little bit for dieback. Then we have those exposed roots down there that we will end up covering them up with moss then. Probably gonna have to double wire this. Actually, give me 1 second and I'll get a thicker piece of wire. Okay, so all I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to end up wiring coming up through the trunk and getting up into this little junction right here, which at some point I'm really going to have to clean up because there's a lot of bad taper going on in there. So I'll get the trunk wired up and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, so now that we got the trunk wired up and tweaked a little bit in the way we want, I'm going to wire these two side branches real quick and just try to get some movement out of them that I believe will help add to this little guy. So let me take a look at it with you here. This thing is still at such a point of growing that I feel like I just did more injustice to it than anything. So I'm just going to come in here and trim back some of these branches that are a little back further. So this little one right here, I'm going to leave just in case I can't get another branch to come up from in here, so that I can have something to kind of work its way backwards as well, if that makes any sense what I just tried to say. Just gonna rotate it, and bring this one up. This one up. We're just going to trim this guy out. Don't worry about how much I'm taking off of here. This one will not be staying outside this winter. It'll be getting more or less its own little indoor treatments. Before I decide if I'm going to trim that, I might just twist it and see what I get. No. Okay. That one's got to go. Just a quick little trim up in here. Just kind of give it its own. It looks like a really little pad right now, but I believe as it grows out, it'll get a much better look to it. And once these little branches get bigger as well, it'll be much easier to shape the pad. I'll be able to get a little bit more into it. Try to take out some of these little guys that are growing in between so we can get some good light flow rolling through here. Let me look at the bottom. Alrighty. Then we have this little guy. Had two little arms that were reaching into the other one, so I nipped that one out. I'm gonna let that little top guy go for now. So now that it's getting cleaned up, I feel like I'm able to get a little bit more of the look I was wanting to get out of this. This last one's going to be really hard. This is a lot going on up here. Give me a minute to think about that. Okay, so I worked it out a little bit while you guys were well, I made you guys wait to see what I ended up coming up with. So this is looking like what we're gonna end up having here. We're gonna have one pad down here, slightly kicked off and brought to the front. The middle one's gonna come out a little bit and then kick back. Then we're gonna bring this one, we're gonna let it run almost up straight. I'm gonna let these grow to figure out what we're gonna do here. And for right now, this pad's then kicked back and then coming back forward to you. So let's get this cleaned up a little bit. And I'll bring you in nice and close here. And we'll do just a little rotate. Remember, this is just there for the die back right here, so eventually that'll be gone. I think it's starts of a pretty good looking Cascade. And then the plan is to try to keep this one rather small and more towards a Mame than anything else. This angle, there's not really much to see. I guess that's something to think about as well. I need to make sure that it's well visible from all angles. So maybe this one, once it gets a little bit bigger, we'll take it back here if I don't get a branch that comes up here to give like a little bit more of a top to it. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you with the whole putting on the moss and adding a little bit of water to it, since the bottom soil that I used to lift is dry. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my videos and be notified every time I release a video, hit the bell notification and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.